Hello, dear friends. According to a Cherokee saying, if it's not good for everyone, it's not good for anybody. Opinion piece. Summer of Revelations. Season of Learning. Summer of Discovery. Transformative solstice. We will see the end of wars. This is the final phase of religions. Let's start. A revelation is coming this summer that will be global, undeniable, and the end of the old system, according to Geopolitical. Before it operated blindly, but now it burns before everyone's eyes. The illusion has been shattered, and from its ashes emerges the true reset, which was not written by tyrants but by free people. The collapse of the dark side is happening in real time. This is not a political victory, but a struggle for the future of humankind. Every structure of globalist control is being brought down. The storm is not coming, it's here, and humanity is being freed from the prison built in secret by bloodlines that believe themselves untouchable. We are taking it all back. On June 25, 2025, White Swan operation entered its final phase. The goal is to dismantle the dark side's infrastructure, remove infiltrators, and regain control of institutions, according to Ethan White of Geopolitical. Initial activation windows were delayed to ensure the success of elite extractions in France, Ukraine, and Israel. Now, indicators suggest an imminent blackout. Internal reports confirm that Biden's advisors negotiated with the Suez Cabal for backdoor biometric access to the quantum financial system, with the intention of overriding global control of accounts and diverting public wealth into filthy funds inherited from the dark side. These efforts were intercepted. On June 8th, QFS cyber teams implemented the Omega Directive, which brought down the SWIFT system and placed 97% of the world's financial transactions under surveillance. Assets held in offshore vaults, cryptocurrency accounts on the dark side, and the Vatican-linked gold reserve are frozen. Quantum nodes are rewriting the financial narrative. Theater of war. According to Benjamin Fulford, President Trump contacted the Iranians in advance and warned them of the upcoming attacks, insisting that they were a one-off event and not intended to fuel a broader conflict. It appears this may have been a preemptive strike to deprive Israel of the pretext of dragging for the US into a war to achieve regime change. Iranian authorities evacuated the targets in advance and removed the nuclear materials, suggesting a choreographed chess move to provide the US with a political escape route from any public demands for conflict. This contrasts with President Trump's public declaration that Iran's major nuclear facilities had been totally destroyed, in quotes, but that obsolete centrifuges were destroyed in his attack. Given that no nuclear reaction has been detected at the targeted facilities and aerial photographs show limited damage, it appears the attack was more of a propaganda stunt. Despite the deep infiltration of the Iranian government and its June 13th decapitation attempt, it is clear that Israel underestimated Iran's strength. General Douglas MacGregor notes that the Israelis are moving many planes to Cyprus to prevent them from being destroyed. The Iranian government prepared in advance and emptied Iran's central bank. All the royal crown jewels and gold were moved to a safe place. Pakistan joined Iran, and China entered the war defending Iran. The game is now very clear, but no one knew that Iran had secretly built a massive arsenal. Last Thursday, you could buy a $50 ticket to go on a day trip to Cyprus. Today, the same ticket costs $5,000. The Israelis are leaving. This is not an exodus. This is how the refugees arrived from the beginning. This is how history repeats itself. The plan to build a resort on the Palestinian coast will not be realized. Jews, Palestinians, and Christians lived side by side on this land for centuries peacefully. Nuclear energy is obsolete. Plasma energy technology is what they were trying to wrest from Iran. The biggest mistake was that attack. It paralyzed the industry. If we don't reach the nuclear phase, we will see the end of wars in the Middle East. This is the final phase of relations. Something similar is happening in Western Europe, as it becomes clear that the US has abandoned any pretense of protecting them from Russia. The Ukraine project is dead for the US and the EU. Putin proclaims, the Russians and the Ukrainians are one people, and all of Ukraine is ours. Reconstruction. According to Benjamin Fulford, the Dragon family is prepared for virtually unlimited funding, and an initial tranche of $100 billion to help rebuild Judea as a peaceful, multi-ethnic and multi-religious country. A similar offer has been made to help the Anglo-Saxon Five Eyes countries once again become the good guys in this movie, promoting world peace, human rights, democracy, the rule of law, and friendly relations between nations. This will begin by replacing the tainted corporation with a new North American republic. This will be a friendly country and a good neighbor in the global village that is now emerging. Humanity is awakening from a long and terrible nightmare. These are biblical events. A new golden age is dawning. Takedown. According to Fulford, this isn't a campaign, it's a takedown. As the dark side strives to maintain control through accusations, distractions, and economic sabotage, the reset they swore would never happen is being triggered. It's a classified operation moving at full speed. It's the final blow to the system of financial slavery. Central banks are buying gold as if it were war. The BRICS are developing commodity-backed monetary systems. CEO badges are sweeping across global corporations. QFS infrastructure is being quietly implemented. Even major governments are testing debt forgiveness programs. Do you think it's a coincidence? The Davos Forum, once an untouchable bastion of technocratic governance, has been dismantled. There was no scandal. It was a demolition. White hat operators have shattered the illusion of global unity and demonstrated how they interfered in elections, forced people to seek medical treatment, seized land under the guise of weather policy, and discreetly labeled each person for control. By early 2024, the White House had seized internal documents, secret recordings, and classified communications showing that Davos leaders were involved in laundering over $400 billion in weather funds through fake NGOs, debt traps, and digital asset theft. The planet was never their goal. It was land, food, and energy. Under the guise of justice, they enslaved farmers, annihilated the rights of indigenous peoples, and used fake charity to orchestrate political coups. The White Hats have evidence that the Forum funded riots, rigged elections, and used artificial intelligence to silence dissent. The walls came down in March 2025. Schwab's retirement was forced exit. Key allies switched sides. More than a dozen countries have launched criminal investigations. The facade of elite immunity has crumbled. A forensic audit is underway at major banks linked to Davos. Those responsible are leaving. Digital ID systems are shutting down. The cabal's nerve center of coordination has been lost, and panic is spreading through the halls of global power. According to Kerry Cassidy, financial warfare has reached its peak. The global economy is undergoing a controlled demolition. The quantum financial system is not a theory. It is already underway. This is not just a reform, it is a purge. Outdated systems are crumbling. QFS debit cards are on hold. The quantum internet is online. Every move will be instantaneous, unhackable, and irreversible. The elite relied on backdoors that have closed. This is global, unavoidable, and there is no going back. The rainbow currency is alive. It is not cryptocurrency. It is not fiat currency. But backed by gold, untouchable, immune to speculation, more than 60 countries have made the transition. Central banks are accumulating gold behind the scenes. Fiat currency is in cardiac arrest. The cabal is losing its control every hour. Reset. The financial reset is not a theory. It is here, and silence is no longer an excuse. While the world ignores the distractions and media theater, the real reset is already underway, and it's happening where most people aren't looking, deep within the global financial system, namely in secondary banking. The Forex market is being transformed by artificial intelligence, blockchain, and tokenized gold, heralding the collapse of fiat systems. Behind inflation, rising interest rates, and digital currency pilot projects lies a coordinated reset of global financial power. The Forex market, the largest and most liquid market in the world, is quietly transforming. This isn't just about trading platforms or software updates, but a complete reconfiguration of money itself, driven by artificial intelligence, blockchain, tokenization, and coordinated geopolitical shifts. Historically, the foreign exchange market has been the beating heart of global finance, where currencies rise and fall, governments hedge risks, and institutions move trillions of dollars daily. But that market no longer operates under traditional dynamics. New technologies are changing everything. AI algorithms now power more than 80% of transactions and react to news and price changes faster than any human could. Blockchain networks are introducing on-chain settlement, reducing counterparty risk, and creating permanent auditable transactions records. Automation has eliminated much of the human oversight, replacing it with black box systems designed by private entities, often without regulation or transparency. The foreign exchange market, once built on nation states and economic policies, is being rebuilt through code, and those writing it hold the keys alternative to the global flow of value. Forget the conspiracies. Forget the caricatured narratives. The financial reset is real, but it's not a one-off. It's a chain reaction. It's not just about digital IDs or carbon credits. It's about redefining what money is, transferring value outside of centralized fiat systems. This global reset isn't announced in press conferences or debated in parliaments. It's implemented silently, line by line, within codes, contracts, and coordinated economic changes. Behind the sterile language of modernization lies a plan to unleash financial control. Those who continue to sleep through this change will soon awaken and discover the old world has disappeared. Breaking news. Iran's uranium reserves remain intact after the attacks. Israeli commandos operated inside Iran during the attacks. Jewish organizations urge evacuation of New York after Muslim socialist Zoran Madani's victory in the Democratic mayoral primaries. China successfully tests an advanced hypersonic vehicle. Europe. Trump threatens Spain with trade retaliation. Orbán claims to have won the first battle in NATO and foresees a tougher second one in the EU. Poland wants to withdraw from the convention banning the use of anti-personnel mines. Americas. The US will create 2 new military zones on its border with Mexico in Texas and Arizona. The US Attorney General includes Mexico on the list of adversary countries, which also includes Russia, China, and Iran. Which Latin American city is the most expensive? Buenos Aires has the highest price for a hamburger combo, while Rio de Janeiro is the cheapest city to buy an apartment in the downtown area. For rent, Mexico City is the most expensive. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.